welcome back to the show. I don't know how to start shows very well, as it continues to be the case in every podcast that I do for the rest of time. So I'm just not going to pretend like I know what to say in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, we're going to be talking about freaking stuff. What are we going to talk about today?
Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 4.
Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 4. A bunch of other stuff involving Obi-Wan Kenobi, Star Wars stuff, and things of that matter that relate to, Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and anything that has a laser sword. But anyway, holy crap, I just now realized. What's your name again?
My name is Ciso.
Ciso.
I usually go by
Ciso Gonzalez. Okay.
Yeah. We just met at buying beers.
I don't know how to do intros, and I don't know how to introduce guests well at all. Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Welcome to the podcast, Ciso Ernesto. Ernesto Gonzalez's brother. I used to do the Zillow Boys podcast. This is his brother, so continuing the tradition, ladies and gentlemen. It's not years in the making. That's a lie, because that'd be
a couple months, right?
It's a couple months in the making, right? Mostly because bad communication. That's how podcasts get set up. Bad communication. A lot of behind the scenes of saying, like, you want to do it today? No. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's talk about Star Wars stuff. I said that like 5 times at the beginning. So the Obi-Wan Kenobi show has dropped, obviously. And for the past few weeks, fans have been confused. And I feel like fans have been confused with the fact that this is a show that everyone has been, waiting to see. Because it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, it's the time in between A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. It's a story that I feel like a lot of us have been, like, speculating, like, what happened in this time, and, like, the things that Darth Vader was doing, and things Obi-Wan Kenobi was doing, and the galaxy as a whole, and the Jedi, what was happening to them. But so many stories that you can go into. And the reason I say we're confused is because it's mostly just okay so far. Let's get generic opinions out of the way. I don't hate the show, but I'm not. It's definitely not something that I would say is particularly amazing.
For sure, been slow.
Yeah,
I think like we said earlier, that it's hard to see Obi-Wan Kenobi like running away. It's very hard. Like, we're used to him kicking butt and taking names, and him running away like an old man fearing for his life is just very odd for the past 3 episodes.
Well, I 100% agree, and I will sympathize with that. But I also will say, if anyone was going to run away in a situation, it would be in a situation where, in the shadows, like Batman, Darth Vader comes out, ignites a lightsaber, and says, "Bring it on." At that point, like, oh, all chips are down. I am running. I am leaving.
This is the fight or flight that I was meant to run for,
fight or flight, and he chose flight. He got out of dodge real quickly.
Yes, he did.
It was kind of a comedic moment where he was about to draw his lightsaber, and then he just said, nope.
Yes, that was kind of funny. That was kind of funny, and it was sad. It was very sad for us Star Wars fans to see him do that.
It is kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad to see him in this state of just... He has a pathetic existence.
He does. He's actually just the old man that's been living in a cave and cutting fish for the rest of his life. Like, that's what he's been doing, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And hopefully, finally when we get to the last 2 episodes, it changes a little bit, but it's been dragging, man. It's been dragging.
It really has been. And I get that for the first part, because I will say the first part makes sense.
Yes.
And the fact that he's in this pathetic stage of his life, I can understand. It's not like Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. But Luke Skywalker was just a hermit, and he was just abandoning everything he knew. But at least Obi-Wan Kenobi is on Tatooine, still actively protecting Luke. Like, he has a job. He's just trying to blend into the environment. At least that's what I would say.
And I think that's something like that a lot of people don't realize, is that Leia has been in the rebellion game for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like what this episode is kind of like really getting into. Like, she's starting to get in behind the scenes of the rebellion and all that good stuff. So, I mean, it's good to see that. I think everybody thought that, it's going to be mostly just him with Luke. And I think that's been surprising, too, for the last couple episodes. But it's all been him and Leia. So,
what have you thought of Leia so far? I mean, I know you said, like, I think it makes sense that she's in the show. But I do agree, like, I feel like Luke should be a little bit more of an important part of that.
At first, I thought, I was like, man, she kind of looks young, because, my son's 8. My daughter's a little bit older than that. So in between, I'm like, that she does not look like a 10-year-old, right?
Yeah, no, not at all.
And
I think I mentioned in one of my reaction video, like, this 4-year-old kid. And like, no, she's not 4. Like, she's
That's what it felt like. And
yeah.
It's like, could we get a better actress? But I mean, she's getting better, right? I mean, she is getting better.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But yeah, it's just hard. It's not hard to watch because you really want to watch it because it's a Star Wars that we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
But it's still been hard to watch. But episode 4 has been getting better. I like the way it ended. It kept me on my seat. And I was actually like, oh my God, he's going to die. But then it's like, no, he does live. He lives to the end. So,
well, I think, what is it? I think the episode 4 ending was good, but I think the rest of episode 4 was just, balls. An order of episodes, in my opinion, episode 1 is good, episode 2 is crap, episode 3 is pretty awesome for the most part, minus kind of the ending, and then episode 4 is the worst so far, in my opinion.
I think what was surprising, nice to see, I mean, it's a bad thing, but like all the Jedi, where they've been. I was trying to read more about what happens to that spot, the Inquisitors, and I guess they just disappear right at, I think leading up to episode 7, they just disappeared, they're not there anymore.
The only thing that I can think that they're doing is just a tomb preservation area of all the Jedi that they've killed, which I guess they tour occasionally, hey, remember when we killed that guy? That was cool. Remember when we killed that guy? That was cool. I guess that's what they do, but at the same time, that Jedi, the youngling, was there at Execute Order 66, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he has the helmet on.
Yeah.
So that might have been one of the ones that Anakin killed. So that means they took the Jedi from all the Jedi Temple, and instead of, getting rid of their bodies, they just
that's very
preserved them.
So what happens to the ones that they cut in half? They just glue them back together and throw them in this cube.
The one that the decapitated heads everywhere.
Yeah.
Dagnabbit, it's got to be some
somebody was saying they seen Mace Windu in there, right? And it's and then everybody's no, that dude had his hand together, so it can't be Mace Windu.
It's got to be some other Black Jedi. There's got to be some other Black Jedi other than Mace Windu.
And we're who posted that? Really, bro?
Yeah. What the heck? Woman. I'm going to keep this in the podcast. Ariel Riley, you're interrupting me in the podcast, and I really don't appreciate it. Actually, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to get you in the podcast.
Jacob?
Yes.
Are you in the middle of your podcast?
Yes, I am.
Yes,
literally
we are.
filming right now. Let have a guess on the show.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad.
I was going to ask you.
I am. I'm going to put you on. Okay, speak up because you're on the mic.
Oh, God. So now I'm at another show.
You're on the
I'm calling to ask you a question.
This is my friend Ariel Riley. She's never been on the podcast before. She needs to be, but
Two guests.
she is now.
2 special guests today, right?
Yeah, 2 special guests.
2 special guests.
But
Not the way I thought I'd come in, that's for sure.
that's what she said. What's the question?
I hate you. I was going to ask you your lunch plans today, but I see you have lunch plans, which is your show. And your lovely guest.
Yes. Both my lovely guests. I just complimented you. I just called you lovely.
Oh my gosh, I'm lovely.
Don't take it too hard.
Okay. I was going to ask you, did you want to see Top Gun again? But,
I will see Top Gun again today because that was a pretty freaking awesome movie. So if you want to see it later, I'm doing with that.
I'm down with that. Finish your show and then text me when you're done.
I will.
Goodbye, fellow guests.
Goodbye.
Fellow
Have a good one.
Goodbye. Get off my show.
That's totally different.
I have never had that happen on a show before. I don't know if I'm going to keep that in. We'll see what happens. What were we talking about?
Oh, we were talking about the cataloging of all the Jedis in the bottom.
Yeah, there's got to be some guy's job, some poor clone trooper's job, just picking up the dead heads. I got to glue this on.
That's so weird. So, man, and that leads to so many questions too. What are they going to do with those Jedi? Is that building still there? I can't remember because I know Darth Vader's universe or whatever is still in existence when he's alive.
Yeah.
Even with Kylo Ren, right? Because they mentioned it in episode 8 or 9. Was it 8?
It is 8. But part of me thought it was going to be part of the cloning process for Snoke.
Yes.
But this is before A New Hope, so that can't be the case.
No.
Or maybe the Emperor had a plan beforehand to do this, but I really don't think that that's the case. I don't think that that plan would go far back as this. So I feel like it's just a tomb. I feel like it's just a place where they can walk by and see a dead kid.
We killed all these people.
Yeah, we killed these people. Yeah, this is terrible.
So. I mean, hopefully it intertwines into the stories of the new episodes, but we will see.
Real quick, let me just to see what where our Star Wars fan base kind of ends and where it begins. What is your opinion of the new Star Wars movies, real quick? Just so we can see where we kind of agree and disagree on.
I mean, I liked them. I enjoyed them. I got to see them with my kids. I think that's the best thing. I think every generation has their own. Like my brother's generation had the original ones, right? And then he kind of got me spun on to the new ones. So when the new ones came out, we went together and like got to go watch them.
You talking about the prequels or the sequels?
The prequels.
Okay, go.
Right. So I remember like going in the middle of the night at 12 o'clock on a Friday so we can go watch it when it opens, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like those a lot better. But the last ones were pretty good. I know for sure like 7 was good.
7 was good.
7 was good.
Force
right?
Awakens was pretty good.
But I think it was just the hype of waiting all those years for a new one.
Yeah.
Like really kicked in.
I mean, dude, like we don't have any Star Wars content other than the Clone Wars for like years, and then all of a sudden, new Star Wars movie, like and like after Return of the Jedi, like are you kidding me?
It was nice. It was nice to see that when it came out. I don't think I cried in that movie, but I think my brother said he cried, but I didn't cry.
I can see that happening.
He's a very emotional guy, so
I can see that happening. I cried in The Rise of Skywalker, but not for reasons that was for pure joy. Like, oh, this movie's crap.
I mean, the last one was pretty good. It ended all right.
Just so we can understand, I walked out of that movie.
For real?
I walked out of I walked back in because I have to see the rest of this. Like, screw it. I think I saw it with Ernesto. I did see it with Ernesto, and then he was like, where are you going? It's like, I gotta go. I'm done. I can't do it. And then when it ended, I walked out like, nope. I looked at him like, nope, hated it.
Yeah, I didn't like the way it ended. It was not like that's it. Like, just wear these lightsabers and let's call it a day, you know?
Yeah.
It didn't leave us hanging like the other ones. Like most of the other ones, like it's continuous. So
yeah. And also, you just stole the name Rey Skywalker. Like, that's not your name, woman.
And I think all the hype behind like who she was the whole time, like everybody thought she was like Obi-Wan Kenobi's daughter, or maybe like she was somebody else's daughter, and it ended up just being his daughter. You know, Palpatine's granddaughter, right?
Yeah.
So
it was kind of weird because in the 8th movie, Kylo Ren said like, "Oh, your parents are nobody," and then the next movie is like, "Oh, but your grandparent was somebody." Like, did you forget?
Yeah, like
what?
Yeah. And they didn't they like write that movie just to just compact everything just to get it over with, because like there were so many directors or something like that.
Oh yeah, like that movie was rushed 100% because Colin Trevorrow had a script ready. It was called Duel of the Fates, and like I don't particularly think Colin Trevorrow's the best writer in the world, but I think the script that he wrote was pretty epic in scale. Like that was the way to go for that series. But what they did with the passing of Carrie Fisher, they wanted to do some rewrites around it, but instead they just dumped the script entirely and then just kind of started from scratch from there, fired Colin Trevorrow, got J.J. Abrams back, and then they kind of rushed this movie into production. Yeah. And you can really tell because the whole movie just kind of feels compilated together at the end. I don't want to take anything away if you like these movies. Like, if you like these movies, that's
everybody,
fine.
like you said, everybody has their own opinions.
Everyone has their own opinions.
I mean, I'll watch it when it comes on, on TV. It doesn't bother me, but some people are like adamant, like I'm not going to watch it because I don't like this one.
There's a documentary out. It's on YouTube. It's of the Rise of Skywalker, and it's actually a really interesting documentary, just to see how this movie was made again. And even if you don't like the movie, like you can see, like there's such a passion behind everyone who's making the movie, making the practical effects and the costumes and everything. Everyone's so excited about this movie. Yeah. It just kind of, in my opinion, just kind of sucks that the final product was crappy, but everyone seems like legitimately ready to make this the best Star Wars movie. It just, in my opinion, it just wasn't.
It didn't come out that way.
It just didn't come out that way. It ended up with Rey at the end. It's like, Rey Skywalker. That's not how last names
like, this
work.
is what it was for, this whole title. Like, we thought it was somebody else, It's like...
Yeah, the Rise, like, no, it's Rey. Like, I thought, like, are we going to get Anakin Skywalker coming back? Not at all.
Nothing,
we got
nothing. None of that.
We got this plumpy lady just saying, like, Rey Skywalker. Like, get out of my face,
What's
you
your
British.
last name? Yeah, that was kind of whack.
You're a Palpatine woman. You are a Palpatine, and just say it so that lady can be terrified and run away. But I can't not talk about Star Wars, it feels like, without being angry nowadays.
I feel the hate in your heart,
It's not good.
It's there.
It's not I guess it's not a health thing to have, but that being said, it's there and it's not going away. So let's go back to Obi-Wan Kenobi for a second. So what did you think of the 3rd episode, real quick? But let's talk about some Darth Vader stuff real quick.
It's too much running. It felt like a Scream movie. Like, it was like everybody's running and he's scared and he gets burnt up. I mean, I did like it that like Vader, they showed Vader how he is in the comic books. Like, he's real dark and he's real like cutthroat. Like, he doesn't take any crap.
Oh man,
he was just like killing kids and family and whatever. Like, they kind of showed that a little bit in episode 3, which was cool to see, but it's like, man, my kids can't watch this kind of stuff. Like, you got to cover their eyes.
Yeah, it's kind of, you didn't really like, I mean, he killed people in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
But this is pretty, like, he's snapping necks.
Very
like, this is
yeah.
pretty graphic.
Yeah.
Like, not only, like, he's taking people out of their homes and just, like, and there's a reason for it, too. He's trying to lure Obi-Wan Kenobi out because he senses him, like, oh, I know you're here. I'm going to start killing people, bring you out.
Yeah.
So he just pulls this guy out of his house, which it's not appropriate, but in the watch party, I laughed.
That's bad, man.
It's not good. Like, that's not good. Like, I don't want to like laugh about over somebody like dying or anything or getting their neck snapped. But at the end of the day, like, Darth Vader is my favorite character ever. Like, there's a poster of him in the back. There's a mural of Darth Vader, and then I like light fires and pray to it every morning. It's but
thank you, Darth Vader. You're like, okay.
May the force be with you, and also with you, my son.
yeah. I always want to say that in church, like, right?
I used to
recognize it.
I used to have a pastor. I used to have a pastor. I still have a pastor. His wife has a Star Wars tattoo, and they said that in church, and may the force be with you, and also with you, my son. It was so funny. Yeah. She has a Rebels tattoo on her arm.
Oh, does she?
It's so great. Anyway, I'm getting really sidetracked today. What is happening with my concentration?
Episode 3. Back to episode 3.
Thank you. So yeah, Vader being. I get like not wanting to show your kids that, and I don't want to laugh at like people dying and suffering, but I do like to see the brutality of Vader because that was betrayed in the comics back then. There was a famous comic of him. I mean, most of the comics back then just showed his brutality and showed like he didn't care about anyone. There's no moral center to Vader whatsoever. Like he used people. That's all. He didn't care about anyone. He had no care in the world except for his wife. He occasionally thought about his wife and remembered his wife. And I guess when it was brought back to his limelight, he cared about his son. And I guess that I do believe partially the reason he cared for his son is because it reminded him of his wife. It reminded him, like, kind of brought him back down to earth a little bit, away from his hatred, because he was just living with that hatred all the time. But once he was reminded of the things that good things that can happen. The hero that he can, like, and the fact that Emperor was torturing his son and zapping, like, you know what, screw this, you're dead. But yeah, I do like to see the brutality of Vader and that they're not shying away from that, and that's cool. And definitely the end of episode 4 was how was great, whereas he was just walking down the hallway, was like, oh, he's pissed.
yeah. But like most of the Inquisitors, most of them died by him because of their failures. Like they can't complete a mission or whatever, and he's just like, okay, you're dead. Fifth sister is now fourth sister, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's crazy.
Lots of sisters. It's like
sisters and brothers.
Sisters or brothers. It's like a little cult or something. Yeah. Or what is it? Like a nunhood. But like it's like violent nuns is how it would describe the Inquisitors. Like sister. Like, yes, sister. Let's kill them. Yes, of course, sister.
Right.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that 4th episode, man, I just didn't dig it. I mean, what did you like about it? Let's talk about what you liked about it.
Oh man, let's see. Obviously, I didn't like seeing the catalog of the Jedis, but it was cool to see that.
Yeah.
It's really, I think I actually like seeing it a little bit more because he started getting better, like back with the Force. Like the other ones, like I said, he's just a bunch of running around and like I'm not gonna fight, like I'm scared,
Yeah.
But now he's actually starting to get one with the Force again and starting to use it, and he's actually like dodging things with his lightsaber and killing people with his lightsaber. So,
yeah,
I mean that was the great part, but other than that, it's just like it's like, man, I want more. Like I want my hours worth that I was promised. Like 100%. I want 38 minutes of that. I want an hour worth at least.
Yeah,
but.
I mean, as a fan, like we're promised, like this is going to be the rematch, and so far we've gotten the stick fight. It's not been great so far.
Yes. Yeah.
So we know that we're going to get a rematch. Episode 6 is going to get the rematch. I'm telling you, man,
they're gonna on episode 6. They're gonna like leave it off, like they're about to like hit each other, and they're gonna be like continuance. Like, damn it.
Oh man, if they do, man,
I feel it, man. And then it's gonna be like those, like how they do the episodes, like episode 1.5 and like episode 2.
Man, if they do that, I'm going to throw hands with somebody. Like someone's got to pay for that. Right. That's parrot. I feel like if that happens and they like clash sabers and it just to be continued.
Yeah,
there's gonna be like pitchforks and riots in the streets. It's gonna be rough. So who do you think is going to win that final fight? Because obviously Vader has, the upper hand in this scenario. But Obi-Wan Kenobi's got to get better somehow.
He's got to get better quick. Like he's like way behind the curve right now.
Yeah.
Man, I never even thought about like how it's going to play out. I would envision like Obi-Wan like letting him know there's still more to life than just being a Sith and like killing everybody. Maybe like hinting that your kids are alive, maybe. That could be a possibility. But I don't know how the comics like play out after that, like between all this, but
well, in the comics that's the thing that he was going to keep the secret the most, because Vader can't know about his kids.
Yeah.
It's the whole point of them like hiding. Like he's trying to keep them away from Vader, away from Palpatine, because it's the Skywalker lineage, the Skywalker bloodline. Like those are the people that you want to train to, come back and become Jedi again and defeat the Emperor and defeat Vader. But obviously can't let that happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard to say, but I really think that like Obi-Wan's going to bow down and just be like, okay, and like keep the chase going, obviously for like the next episodes and stuff. But
yeah,
I think that's what's going to happen. And then what do we get? Like 2 seasons of this, maybe 3. So
I feel like it has been confirmed to this point. I might be wrong. I may just be hallucinating at this point because I've gotten 0 hours of sleep in the past few days, so I don't quite remember. Things are molding together. But I think it has been renewed for a second season. But yeah, I think it's been renewed. But yeah, either way,
Well, what do you think about? I mean, what did you find positive about episode 4?
Positive, but like the very, very few things. I think my whole problem with the whole series so far is that the story is not Obi-Wan centered. It is like it says, especially episode 4 was a side quest. And Leia, as much as I find a lot of really cool moments with little Leia, I think she's kind of cute, and I definitely think there's scenes where she's good. I don't think her story is very interesting overall, and I don't think that she's the best actress overall. I mean, she's okay. I mean, there's definitely some scenes where she's really good. Like the scene right after we see Darth Vader suit up and where Leia's talking to Obi-Wan Kenobi on the ship about the Force, and Obi-Wan Kenobi talks to her. Like, she's great in that scene. She's legitimately great. But for the most part, I don't think the writing around her has been good at all. The writing in the series has not been great. But like overall, my biggest problem with the series is not Obi-Wan Kenobi-centric. It's not focused on the story of Obi-Wan. And I feel like the best moments of the series are focused on Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. Like, for instance, on episode 4, at the very beginning, when you get the parallel between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader in the bacta tank, and they sense each other, and they're, I guess, feeling each other up. That sounds weird, but... But yeah, you know what I'm getting. You know what I'm getting.
Yeah, I get your tradition out, man.
I appreciate it because that, man. But that kind of stuff is cool. Yeah. And then seeing Vader at the end just so pissed off at Reva, and then just force choke her. It's like, I told you, you failed me. I'm gonna murder you right here.
And I think everybody's questioning like the longevity of like Reva. Like, where's this going? Obviously, we know she's not in the present ones. So
yeah,
I mean, is she gonna die soon? I mean, everybody's like, she's just gonna piss him off and like crack her neck, like it's game over.
I don't get the point of her character. I don't know. I don't get her.
So is everybody everybody's saying that she's like the girl in the beginning, the youngling, right?
Oh yeah, she's definitely
so
the
for sure, right? So I'm thinking like maybe she's trying to reach out to Obi-Wan Kenobi because maybe she can join up with him and change things. Possibly. I don't really. I mean, possibly. I really don't know how. I don't know the end game of this character, and it feels confusing. I don't know what her goal is, and either she is an Inquisitor who is just pretending to be an Inquisitor, or she's legitimately an Inquisitor, and all the Inquisitors just freaking hate her guts, which is kind of odd. Yeah,
everyone all the Inquisitors freaking hate this chick. Like every time she's like, "Oh, it's freaking Reva," and like it's the person. It's like the work partner you have, and like you're assigned to a group in high school.
I have to deal with her.
Yeah, that one person, like, dag nabbit, I got to deal with this person now. Like all right, whatever.
In the school project, like
because Darth Vader
you are our weakest link.
Yeah, because Darth Vader said I had to. Like, all right, whatever. Yeah. I'll deal with this person.
So, I don't know where her character's going. I wish we knew. Obviously, she's not the new one, so maybe she's just dead in a couple episodes.
Yeah.
But that's kind of, like, weak to be, like, through all these episodes, and it's just like, okay, you're just dead. Like the Grand Inquisitor, right? Like, everybody's like, oh, man, the Grand Inquisitors and these new ones, and then he's, like, dead, like, the second episode.
That doesn't make any sense either.
Because he's alive in the new ones, right?
Freaking Rebels, like, he's alive, and he also dies in Rebels. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And people are saying, like, it's a different Inquisitor.
Yeah,
because
his head's bigger, right?
Like,
his head was bigger, and I'm like... His head's bigger. Maybe it's just like you can't make his head bigger. I don't know.
I don't know what that whole thing is. Like I guess post production said, screw it, we're lazy, we don't care.
We're just gonna do it like this.
Exactly. But that whole thing, like, it doesn't make any sense because he dies in Rebels. There's got to be some way where he's alive, or either that, or they just don't care about continuity anymore.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, because like they didn't show anybody like picking him up, or like he escaped and like Mace Windu like fell down, and somebody picked him up later. 100%. I don't know. Like they didn't show that, but maybe he comes in at 6.
Maybe he does.
Like you didn't kill me, I'm here.
Just pops up out of the dirt like, what's up?
Like I don't know.
You're like a horror villain at the end of the like, I'm still alive. I'm gonna stay alive. What I feel like is gonna happen is she's gonna show up. Darth Vader, and then say like, "Hey, I think I found Kenobi again." And then what is it?
That's it.
Inquisitor comes out. Inquisitor comes out and say like,
"What is it? Fifth brother?"
I'm alive. Like, yeah,
I'm so lost on the brothers and sisters. Like,
I guess like, fifth brother. Like fifth brother. Like, yes, fifth brother. Like, may the fourth. Like, also with you, my brother. Yes, fifth brother. But I feel like he's gonna come out of the woodworks and say like, "She killed me," and like Vader's like, "Oh, snap."
But wouldn't Vader like kill him because he failed him in getting Obi-Wan Kenobi? So like,
good question.
You made all this way, buddy. You're dead again. We'll see you. We'll see you in Rebels. Like I don't know where they're gonna go with that.
I'm gonna unsnap your neck and
get back in the back of tank.
Because we know like you're dead until you get into a back to tank.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like everybody comes back. This is like their new way of bringing everybody back. Is damn tank.
Even if you, what is it? You get thrown down like an infinity shaft and you blow up, and then the Death Star explodes around you, the Emperor, and then you come back. And then you come back in the 9th episode, and the excuse is like, "Oh, back to tank." Like there's nothing but back to man. It's like
we
it's
cloned you from like a filter in the back of tank. Like I don't know how that works.
Get the chlorine off you. Back to tank is like back to this hell of a drug, man. It's crazy. It's like cocaine, but times 10.
Who would have known? Like, what is it? Like, tanning beds were like the future. It's like I don't get it. But yeah,
I don't know.
They can only use that so many times, right? Like bringing people back, and
I know because at some point, like death's gonna mean nothing anymore.
Yeah.
Because like what is it? People died in the old Star Wars movies.
Yeah, and they just made him like a Force ghost, right?
Yeah, freaking. So. They made him a Force ghost, but I feel like at the end they're just gonna bring. I would not be surprised. I was going into episode 9. I kid you not. I was going into episode 9 with the notion that I would not be surprised if they straight up just brought all the Force ghosts back from the dead
and like fought the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, just fought the Knights of Ren and then just ganged up on Palpatine and then just lightsaber, and then Mace Windu would come out of nowhere and then stab him in the back, and his lightsaber at the bottom.
That's the same place he fell. Like he comes back instead of Ben. It was like him coming back.
Yeah. I was like, I'm back, mother. And then he would. Like,
that would have. You're gonna die. Yeah. Like his famous words.
It's Samuel Jackson. He has to say that. Like,
yeah.
What is it? There's this YouTube video online. Revenge of the Sith is rated PG-13, so that means it can drop one F-bomb. And there was it was a whole series of events, like of the areas where it would be so funny to drop an F-bomb. And then one of them was like Samuel Jackson when he's getting thrown off the building by the Emperor, and he's just screaming like "motherfucker."
that would have been a perfect time, right? It'll be like in 20 years from now, it'll be like the extended versions. That's where it's gonna be. Just wait.
George Lucas's 4-hour cut of what is it? Revenge of the Sith. There is a 4-hour cut of Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, there is. I never knew that.
And like the opening scene of Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi rescuing Palpatine, that took an hour.
Dang.
It took a whole freaking hour in the movie, and then the rest of the movie happened. It was 3 hours long. Longer than Endgame, longer than...
Holy cow.
It's like the director's cut's such a long movie. Longer than the Snyder cut.
God, that was long too.
Nothing's longer than the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Movie's 6.5 weeks long.
Yeah. We're not going to cut anything. Why don't they just say that? Director's cut. We don't cut anything out of it. Like, we just leave it how it is, right? Unedited.
Oh, yeah. Just absolutely everything stays in. We got one elongated shot of Lois Lane going to the bathroom. Like, we're keeping it in. Like, but it's like a diarrhea inducing. It takes 30 minutes. We're keeping it in.
Yeah, right.
We cut nothing. This is integral. Like, okay, we've gone off the rails.
Yeah, we went too far. Okay.
Okay, so back to
4, right? Or we were at 3?
We were at 4.
We're at 4.
Yeah, of the things I liked it for.
Yeah.
The beginning and the end. That was it.
Okay.
The beginning and the end of Darth Vader choking out Reva. And then that was cool to see Darth Vader's brutality. Mm-hmm. And then the very beginning of Obi-Wan Kenobi, like, having that moment with Anakin Skywalker. Yeah. But the rest of it was just kind of crap. Like, sneaking in.
Like a filler.
It was really filler.
Yeah. It was just like watching episode 2, really.
It kind of
is.
Right? It's like a lot of bad acting. And here's the thing. Like, Reva, the girl who plays Reva is a good actress. Because I've seen her in, like, Queen's Gambit. Yeah. Because the story of Obi-Wan Kenobi is so character-centric, I feel like the only thing you really need to focus on to get anyone's interest of fandom or anyone outside is just Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi, training from Qui-Gon Jinn, protecting Luke, like maybe beating up some Tusken Raiders, beating up people at the bar, finding out Vader's still alive, like all that kind of stuff. Like that's the kind of stuff that I want to see as a fan. I want to see Kenobi suffer, but I also want to see him like regain his strength and become like that legendary Jedi that we see in A New Hope.
But he really doesn't have any of that. I mean, he knows it, but like in A New Hope, he's not like really like
he's not
lightsaber. You know, he's just like and I become a Force ghost. Like that's it. Like that's the end.
He is, but like at least like in that point, like he's still strong in the Force. Yeah. He still knows these things. He's still able to give Luke information, and he's also kind of optimistic. He's kind of an optimistic old man. And this one, he's just like, man, everything sucks. Which everything does suck, but
I mean, it does suck.
Yeah. All he has is a Jawa friend, and the Jawa friend's stealing from him.
Yeah.
He's a terrible friend.
It's like having that crackhead friend that, you know, and it's like, I can't let you in, bro. You're going to steal my, like, my sodas or something, you know? But, yeah.
Please, man, I just, like, do you have any drugs in the back? Like, I got some crack. Okay, go. Did you ever watch Craig Ferguson? Late night TV host, also a comic. He had a comic show where he was explaining the difference between a junkie and an alcoholic. Like an alcoholic will steal your purse and then be so consumed by guilt and sadness that they'll use your purse to buy more alcohol and then drink themselves to death. A junkie will steal your purse and then help you look for it.
Like, I think I seen it over here.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Jawa is with Kenobi. Like, he stole his crap and then sold it back to him.
I just stole this, but here, you want to buy this one? I know you need it.
Yeah. You're like, let me help you look for your crap. Oh, here it is. You want to buy it off me? That's all he is. But it's not centered on Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is my biggest problem. Yeah. And it's not like the two characters that I want to see the most, Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. As soon as they introduced Darth Vader in Episode 3, that's all I wanted to see. Yeah. And then they went back to Reva. Like, I don't care about you anymore. Just like show me Vader.
Well, especially since they brought Christensen back to act. It's like, where's he acting at? Like we were talking earlier, like I said, that they have a dude that does the walking and a dude that does the stunts, and it's like, what do you pay this guy for? Like, what's he doing? Like,
I don't know. Show up in the
he's in the back of the tank. Like that's how you do. Like just float around the back of the tank.
I need you to be in the back tank. Could you do that for me, please?
Yeah, we'll pay you millions of dollars just to bring your role back. Like, oh yeah, sure, cool, yeah, I can do that.
I don't know if you thought the same thing. Maybe you did. Like, you tell me what you think. But I thought there was going to be some Clone Wars flashbacks.
I thought there was going to be a little bit more of that too, but I think they're going to hold out probably for like Ahsoka's stuff. Like a lot of that. You think? I think so, man. I'm gonna hate it if like Ahsoka's like way better than Obi-Wan Kenobi's episodes.
Oh,
I mean, do you think like her episodes in The Mandalorian are like way better than what you've seen in Obi-Wan so far?
You know what? Now that you think,
no, you're like, yeah,
yeah.
I'm crushing your dreams. I'm sorry.
Kind of. Man, you kind of are.
But they are, right? Like it
is better. Now that I'm thinking about it, the episode that Ahsoka was in, as a whole, the episode was better than anything that we've seen so far. I mean, again, Darth Vader is my favorite character, and I love seeing him. But as a whole, like, I would rather watch that episode again than rewatch anything on Kenobi.
Yeah.
As a fan, I'm not really satisfied right now, and I feel like there's so many missed opportunities. As a filmmaker, as a personal filmmaker, I'm also kind of unsatisfied just because I don't think the action scenes were well filmed at all. Like, there's not been anything action noteworthy any moments at all. I don't think the story is focused on where it needs to be. It's not focused on Kenobi enough. It's not focused on Vader enough. It's focused on Reva, who, if they wrote her character better, I feel like would be enjoyable. But at the same time, I just don't feel like anything in her character is engaging. No. And I also found her kind of annoying to be around. I don't particularly like her as a character.
I think it's just hard to figure out, like, is she gonna like turn back, to the good side? Is she gonna stay on the bad side? Or it's so hard.
I want to find the edge of this character. I know that I think the writer of Kenobi came out and said, like, Reva's character, it's important to keep her in the dark, and we'll see what happens. So there's a plan for her. Mm-hmm. I just don't know.
Get to it.
Yeah, it's really hard to get to it.
Like, we need it now.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if it's worth writing a character like this and then having a really good payoff, but would I want to go back and watch her again? I don't know. Probably not. I think this was, like, the turning point, like, for a lot of people, because a lot of people were, like, really excited for this series, and they're just not... I don't feel like they're not getting what they wanted, but they're also not getting anything good in return. Like, if you're not going to get what you want, and if you're going to, like, subvert expectations, Rian Johnson style, at least give us something really interesting in return. Like, if they weren't going to give us a story that's focused on Obi-Wan Kenobi, at least make the Leia stuff super interesting. They just haven't. And again, I just don't want to crap on everything. And I know that there are people working hard on the show, and I know that people are very passionate about the show and they really like it. I just don't think that the direction they've been taking is the best for this kind of show. Or, I don't know. Not a huge fan.
It's just we all been waiting forever to see what's been Obi-Wan's been up to, It's like, and we all envision this, like, totally, like, this Jedi Master, like, focusing his powers, probably. Like, that's how I thought. Like, he was, like Yoda, he just chilling on a planet, getting ready for the next battle, but it's not. They grow old and, I mean, they lose it. They just lose their powers. They lose the fighting ability, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So
lose the drive. Like, man, this guy went from...
Yeah, you lose the drive. Like, dude, you just lost, like, the galaxy. It's not like you wrecked your car, you can go get another car. Like, you lost the battle of this galaxy. Like,
Yeah. And you've, you've lost the battle of this galaxy, and your best friend your essentially your brother.
You had to kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, you had to kill this guy, and then you figured out he's alive, and he's really pissed at you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully these last 2 episodes get to something, and I'm telling you, it's going to be continuance in episode 6.
Man, if that happens, I don't think it's
going to be like Sopranos. Like, when I was watching Sopranos, I thought, like, the TV shut off, But
it just cuts to black.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I like that ending. I may like be like the one in a million people that actually likes that ending. But I know he's dead. 100% he's dead. Like, George Soprano is 100%. George Soprano? Is that his name? Did I say George Soprano?
Yeah.
That's not his name. Tony Soprano.
Tony, yeah, there you go.
Freaking, why did I say George? Yeah. He's 1,000% dead. Like, someone killed him, 100%.
Think so?
Oh yeah, he was a
I think
prick.
that's another episode, man. That's like another.
Yeah, he's a. Someone just pops up and just knifes him. I don't know, but yep. That's pretty much all I gotta talk about with this show and stuff like that. Dude, thank you for coming on the podcast and talking to me and Steve and talking to only me because Steve doesn't talk. He's dead. He just kind of stands there looking ugly. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on and drinking a beer and hanging out with me.
I just want to say a couple things before you
go ahead. Yeah,
if we can. Hopefully, I don't cry. But
go ahead.
I just want to say I've been very thankful for, like, you and my brother starting this podcast, or the old one at least. That helped me out through a lot. I know my family. It's helped us all out a lot. Getting to see my brother laugh and talk about the things he loved to do. So I don't know if you ever noticed, but, like, that last one that you did about him, like, if you've seen that one notch of you, that was probably me, like, every day watching it. Like, I was watching it religiously for 3-4 months. I still watch it, but I just want to say thank you. My brother impacted a lot of people, changed a lot of people's lives, and I'm just thankful that you guys remember him, and I get a chance to look back and see him laughing and enjoying what he loved to do.
100%.
So I really do appreciate that.
Of course, man. I mean, I'll say something. Aside, that guy was my best friend. Like, I didn't want to anyone else but him, and I can't imagine what you and your family has been going through around that loss period. I can't imagine just losing a brother. I didn't go through the same things you did, but I lost a friend. Like, that was my best friend, and I did everything with that guy. It was, there's a whole stuff that I was planning around, like what we wanted to do for the future, future films and stuff we wanted to do with the podcast that I just didn't feel that was necessary anymore, and that he's gone. And it's a humongous loss. And I will say, like, the things that I just watched every pod. I still to this day miss him, and I can't wake up every day and not think about him once. And I watch our podcast, the Zilla Boys, all the time. Mm-hmm. I still have it. I watch it on the road. I watch it while I'm working. I watch it while I'm here, just goofing around, and just to remember it and just to hear his voice. Yeah. And I appreciate for the time that I've known him, and I feel very blessed to have impacted my life more than any friend I've ever had. So,
and I mean, he talked a lot about you, and I know you were a super big impact to him. And like I said, he's always loved movies, and it's crazy that you guys finally crossed paths at that video store one day, and it kicked off a lot of good things for both of you guys. So I'm happy for both of you guys, you know. So, and I'm glad you started this new podcast, man. I know this is kind of like an event too, you know, and it's a remembrance too, you know. Every time you shout him out at the end, it's remembering him. So
because we started that podcast with the understanding of like, we just want to see if this is going to be fun, and if it's not going to be fun, we're not going to do it.
Yeah,
we continued for like 36 episodes and several other videos. It was really
and he
would
call me and he'd be like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" I was like, "That's pretty good, man. You know, I thought it was pretty funny, you know."
And I didn't I was really hesitant on doing a podcast because like I don't want to do it with anyone else but Ernesto. Mm-hmm. Like I just don't want to. Yeah. And then after time went by, like I just wanted to do, like, Ernesto got me into this thing. Like I never wanted to do this, and Ernesto was like you have to do this, you have to try this, trust me. And then I did it, and like, okay, you're right, this was actually really fun. And I do this, and I'll say I'll let you say this. Every podcast I say roll those credits, Ernesto, because that's the thing he said at every podcast.
Yeah.
And so when at the end of it, you can. Why don't you
Hopefully,
say?
Yeah, I don't want to tear up and do it, but
yeah,
I'll for sure do it. This has been fun. I appreciate it, man, and roll those credits. Love you, bro.